3085. With respect to passengers, what obligation, if any, does a pilot in command have concerning the use of safety belts? A. The pilot in command must instruct the passengers to keep their safety belts fastened for the entire flight. B. The pilot in command must brief the passengers on the use of safety belts and notify them to fasten their safety belts during taxi, takeoff, and landing. C. The pilot in command has no obligation in regard to passengers' use of safety belts. The correct answer is B. As the pilot in command, you have an obligation to ensure the safety of your passengers. Part of this responsibility includes briefing the passengers on the use of safety belts and notifying them to fasten their safety belts during specific phases of flight, namely taxi, takeoff, and landing. During the pre-flight briefing, the pilot in command should provide clear instructions on how to properly fasten and adjust the safety belts. Passengers should be informed of the importance of wearing safety belts and the potential risks of not doing so. Additionally, the pilot in command should emphasize the requirement to keep the safety belts fastened during taxi, takeoff, and landing, as these are critical phases of flight where the risk of turbulence, sudden deceleration, or impact is higher. By briefing the passengers and notifying them to fasten their safety belts during the appropriate phases of flight, the pilot in command helps ensure the safety and well-being of everyone on board. 3085-1. Pre-takeoff briefing of passengers about the use of seat belts for a flight is the responsibility of A. All passengers. B. The pilot in command. C. The right seat pilot. The correct answer is B. The pre-takeoff briefing of passengers regarding the use of seat belts is the responsibility of the pilot in command. As the pilot in command, you are responsible for providing important safety information to the passengers before the flight. This includes briefing them on the use of seat belts and notifying them to fasten their seat belts during specific phases of the flight. During the pre-flight briefing, you should explain to the passengers how to properly fasten and adjust their seat belts. You should also emphasize the importance of keeping the seat belts fastened throughout the flight, especially during takeoff, landing, and whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated. This helps ensure the safety of the passengers in the event of turbulence, sudden maneuvers, or other unexpected situations. By taking the time to provide a thorough pre-takeoff briefing about seat belt usage, the pilot in command promotes a culture of safety and ensures that all passengers are aware of the necessary precautions to take during the flight. 3086. With certain exceptions, safety belts are required to be secured about passengers during A. Taxi, takeoffs, and landings. B. All flight conditions. C. Flight in turbulent air. The correct answer is A. Safety belts are required to be secured about passengers during taxi, takeoffs, and landings. These are critical phases of flight where the risk of accidents or sudden changes in aircraft movement is higher. Keeping safety belts securely fastened during these phases helps protect passengers in the event of sudden stops, turbulence, or other emergencies. While it is generally recommended to keep safety belts fastened throughout the entire flight, there are certain exceptions, such as when the seatbelt sign is turned off during a period of smooth flying. However, during taxi, takeoffs, and landings, safety belts should always be secured as a standard safety practice. It is important for the pilot in command to ensure that passengers are informed about the requirement to fasten their safety belts during taxi, takeoffs, and landings. This information should be included in the pre-takeoff briefing to ensure compliance with safety regulations and enhance the overall safety of the flight. 2232. The pilot in command is responsible for ensuring that each person on board applicable U.S. registered aircraft is briefed and instructed on how and when to A. Fasten and unfasten their seat belt and shoulder harness. B. Adjust their seat. C. Operate the fire extinguisher. The correct answer is A. The pilot in command is responsible for ensuring the safety of the flight and all individuals on board the aircraft. As part of this responsibility, the pilot in command must provide a pre-flight briefing to all passengers, which includes instructions on how and when to fasten and unfasten their seat belts and shoulder harnesses. Seat belts and shoulder harnesses are crucial safety devices that help protect passengers in the event of turbulence, sudden maneuvers, or an emergency situation. Passengers need to be informed about the proper usage of these restraints, including how to fasten and unfasten them correctly. The pre-flight briefing should cover other important safety information as well, but ensuring that passengers know how to properly secure and release their seat belts and shoulder harnesses is a primary responsibility of the pilot in command. This briefing helps promote a culture of safety and ensures that everyone on board is prepared for a safe and comfortable flight. 3087. Safety belts are required to be properly secured about which persons in an aircraft and when. A. Pilots only, during takeoffs and landings. B. Passengers, during taxi, takeoffs, and landings only. C. Each person on board the aircraft during the entire flight. The correct answer is B. Safety belts are required to be properly secured around passengers during specific phases of flight, which include taxi, takeoffs, and landings. During these critical phases of the flight, when the aircraft is moving on the ground or when there is an increased risk of turbulence or an emergency, passengers must have their safety belts properly fastened. While it is recommended for all occupants of the aircraft, including pilots and crew members, to wear their safety belts throughout the entire flight, it is specifically required for passengers during the specified phases of taxi, takeoffs, and landings. Properly securing safety belts during these critical phases of flight helps ensure the safety and protection of passengers in the event of sudden movements, turbulence, or an emergency situation. It is an important regulatory requirement that contributes to maintaining a high level of safety in aviation.